is that my family, all the questions you wanted to know but were too afraid to ask about interfaith, interracial relationships, we're about to talk about it. I've got the questions, I've got my tea, let's do this. Okay, so this is my first video of YouTube like ever. This feels kind of different. This feels kind of weird. Like I've been doing TikTok for a couple years now. I'm very much used to talking very fast. So if I do talk fast, apologies. 1st of January 2025. I've been dying to make this video for literally ages. I know a lot of my followers on TikTok also are interested in this video, so I was like, do you know what, let's just do it. Let's just do it. I do have my questions on my phone. I have asked a few of my followers to give me a few questions on everything to do with this topic. Just gonna answer the questions that you guys want to know. By the way, there is no like set order I've done this in. I'm just going for it. When I tell you I've had zillions of questions about my interfaith and interracial relationship, well, not zillions, but you know what I mean, loads and loads and loads, like literally in the hundreds. This is probably gonna be a part 1. If there's more demand, we'll do more videos. But anyway, shall we do this? Let's just do this. First question is, how did the conversation about your partner happen with your family? Is your family a traditional South Asian family, or are they more open-minded? Okay, it's kind of 2 questions in one. I spoke to my mum first, more than like, that was the first person I spoke to. Obviously, like before that, I'd spoken to my friends, I'd spoken to my like brother and sister, who are younger than me. So like I was the first one to actually go through all this anyway in my family. Now, the second part is your family a traditional South Asian family, or are they more open-minded? Luckily, I honestly, and like I know I am so lucky when I say this, is that my family, if we're talking about South Asian families, my family is quite a liberal, modern South Asian family. My aunts and uncles, they've had interracial, interfaith relationships before. I'm not the first one in my extended family, but obviously I'm the first one in my actual family. That is still a big deal as well. But in terms of how strict my family were, I'd say that when I was younger, they were more, but then as I got older, they were less. And by the time that obviously, you know, I was talking about relationships and I was talking about my like boyfriend / now husband, and obviously all that, it was more understanding, because thankfully I would describe them as like more of a liberal South Asian family. Question number 2. Many South Asian and Muslim people find it hard to stand up to their parents as they feel they might disappoint them. This is particularly hard when you are a woman, don't we know? How did you navigate your parents' wants for you and wants for yourself? I think the main thing that a lot of people have asked me, and that I have said a lot to everyone that's in this similar situation or has been in a similar situation, or like, you know, looks to my situation and wants to be in my situation in the future, is you girlies gotta drop, and guys and girlies, you guys gotta drop hints. Like, you gotta start to really, really get those conversations flowing, like, as soon as you can. As soon as you think that you are in a, because you know your family. So as soon as you think that you're in the right certain time for when you can start talking and dropping hints and talking about, you know, your relationship and talking, or just, you know, very, very, like, I don't know, let's drop it to the real, like, beginning hints of being like, oh, this is kind of my type, by the way, like, and just keep like dropping those hints, things like that. That is what really starts like the whole navigating your wants to your parents. Like that is gonna help in the long run, trust me. And I know that's like not the biggest advice to say like, oh, just start dropping hints, but honestly guys, the more hints you drop, the earlier you can, the less of a shock it will be to your family, you know, when you obviously, like, it's sad to say it is a shock, but like, I know in some families it will be a shock. So the more you drop the hints, the less of the shock it will be in the future when you do ultimately say like, this is it, this is who I want, this is who I want to marry, etc. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like standing up, and I totally get it. Like, I'm from a Muslim background. Thankfully, like I said, I'm from a liberal background, so it's a little bit different. But that's not to say that I don't know so many like Muslim families, Muslim girlies whose parents, you know, who come from a strict background. You know, my extended family, I have a lot of extended family that could be considered strict, but I also have a lot of extended family that could also be considered not strict, you know? So I genuinely fully have a range of different types of family members, let's just say. You might be thinking, oh, like, this girl's not as similar to me because she doesn't have that, like, she has more of a liberal family, let's just say. I totally get what it feels like to be from a super strict all the way to from a more liberal, if that makes sense. Standing up to Muslim parents is hard. It is a hard thing. And the key thing is, like this person has said, as they feel they might disappoint them. Totally get it. But one thing that I will say in my heart that I also want to say to all you guys and girls who are potentially going through this is that At the end of the day, the one thing to think about is who is in the relationship in the future? Who's going to be in your future marriage? Like, literally, who is it? It's not that hard to answer. It's literally you and your partner. That's who's going to be in your marriage. That's who's going to be in your relationship. Everyone else, yeah, they have, you know, and I'm talking about your mom, your dad, like everyone else. When you become married, you do bring like the families together, but ultimately you two are in that relationship. So you two need to work out. You two are seeing each other every day. You two are living your life. You two are being that team married together every single day. My point is that I totally get like the feeling of disappointing, but at the end of the day, when you are in your future life, you need to think about yourself and if you're disappointing yourself as well. I think I'm going really, really long on these questions. Like, this might be a long ass video, lol. Okay, so question number 3. How did you navigate the backlash from your community / family / friends if you received any for going against the norm? Yes, you will always get some sort of backlash, like certain family members' opinions that do come to the front, you know, and suddenly they have a say in your whole freaking life when they're not your mum and dad, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, are they your mum and dad? No. Second, at the end of the day, are they going to be in your relationship? Like I said before, are they really going to be in your everyday relationship? No. Ultimately, I know this is going to sound really harsh, but it doesn't really matter. Aunties and uncles, they can talk a lot, but that is just it. It is all just talk at the end of the day. When it comes to being in your relationship, you got to respect yourself. I fully believe, like, I knew who I wanted, and I also knew what I didn't want. That's a massive thing. I also knew what I did not want in a relationship. If your extended family want to have a say in anything to do with you, fine, like let them have a say. But at the end of the day, if you really want your partner and you know that they are going to be the one for you and your family, and you know that like ultimately in the future everything will be fine because you know you've chosen someone that you freaking love and you know is right, what does it matter what they say? Like, honestly, what does it generally matter what they say if you know what you're going to do and you know who you're going to have and you're going to pursue it to the very end? I don't know if I answered that question. I don't even know if I answered that question right enough, but hopefully I am. Like, forgive, this is my first, like I said, it's my first YouTube video, guys. So it's just a little, like, I need to just get my flow in YouTube. Question number 4. Did you seek any guidance from anyone or have any resources to use when navigating your interfaith relationship? No. That is a full-on easy no. I'm going to be honest, there is no guidance, there is no resource, and there's just no advice out there. And that's probably the whole reason why I'm doing this video and why I've done TikToks and why I will still talk about my relationship and things like that, because there is just nothing. Honestly, hardly enough. And that's really quite sad, because let's rewind 10 years ago and something, and I saw like someone like me talking about this, I would eat it up and I would genuinely ask for the advice. So I feel like hopefully someone out there is listening to this and getting the advice that they want to hear or they need to hear. It's probably a bit of both. One thing I will say is I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Like, it's going to be hard. That's it. But at the end of the day, if you want your situation to be, if you know in your heart that you and your partner are right, you will go to the ends of the earth like I did. And everyone's fine and we're all good. Question number 5 is, do you feel any pressure to represent interracial couples positively in public or online? Yes. Hell to the freaking yes. And it basically follows the previous question. It's because there is nothing out there for us lot to find, for people who were in my situation or are in my situation or who may think they'll be in my situation to actually find. And so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna talk about it. I don't know what made me talk about it randomly on a Tuesday filming my TikToks. Do you know what I mean? It's so random. And I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to do a video about my relationship and just see if anyone's interested. And there was so many people interested on TikTok. And then I ended up getting hundreds and hundreds of messages and I was like, whoa, this is a lot. I need to just like, you know, figure out what to do with this. And then I was like, you know what? YouTube is the one. I don't feel pressure to represent, but I feel a need potentially to represent because of the fact that there isn't enough representation. So I just want to be not like a spokesperson or anything like that. I don't need to be like that, but I just want people to see that there is hope out there and you can do this if you really, really want to do this. Kind of like inspiration. Number 6, how do you celebrate special occasions like holidays considering your different cultural backgrounds? Easy peasy, literally, we celebrate everything. Like me, my husband, my families, we celebrate everything. Christmas is just gone. We do celebrate Christmas, but the thing is, I always have celebrated Christmas. Other different cultural events like Eid, for example, going through the Ramadan and everything like that. Me and my husband, we do that together. We have done it together previously, and will continue to. Have we celebrated Eid just the way we did Christmas? Yeah. If you've chosen a person that really is open to you and yourself and what really makes you you, then I feel like things like celebrating, you know, different special occasions and religious events and all of that is really freaking easy, because what you want to do is celebrate it all. And that is what kind of makes being in an interracial relationship or being in an interfaith relationship so amazing, because you just combine everything together, and it is just an amazing feeling. But we are coming to a few of the last questions. Question number 7. What's the best part of being in an interracial relationship, and how has it shaped your perspective on love? Okay, this probably follows similar to what I was just saying before. Being in an interracial relationship, bringing two cultures together, bringing two backgrounds together, learning about two backgrounds and two cultures, and truly wanting to feel part of both and being part of both is probably the most amazing thing. That's definitely amazing, an amazing, massive thing about being married to my husband. And in terms of shaping my perspective on love, it's just opened more, and it's just, weirdly to say, but it just makes you love more, if that makes sense. Like, it just makes you appreciate more, it just makes you understand more, it just makes you just more open. Like I said, like, it just makes me want to help others more as well in this situation. Also, witnessing my husband learning traditional cultural things of my background, of my culture, and him adopting them is like such a compliment. And seeing my parents as well, like loving my husband so much because he's adopted certain like traditional things that is part of my culture, and he does it to my parents and things like that. And their face when they see that, and their smile. Question 8 is pretty similar to what I've said before, but how do your families feel about your interfaith relationship, and how have you navigated their perspectives? Like I said, it's all about hinting and talking and doing more of the talking. It's literally communication. Like that's all I can say. Like, the more you communicate with your family members, the more you also are communicating with your partner as well, because that is so important. Cannot stress that enough either. The better you will be in the long run, for sure. Last couple questions. Number 9. Do you celebrate religious holidays from both faiths, and how do you merge traditions? Again, very similar questions. I did try to pick like different questions, but there was just so many. Like I said, religious holidays, we celebrate it all. Everything, all of it. Just love it. I teach my husband about certain cultural traditions. Obviously, I'm British, so I know quite a few like British traditions anyway. We will just teach each other and merge those cultures and traditions together, and just do it. Bringing two cultures together and teaching each other and learning with each other. Like, it's so fun. Like, that is honestly what I can say. It's just so fun. And then the last question, I thought I would end on a really lovely question. So, how has being in an interfaith relationship strengthened... How has being in an interfaith relationship strengthened your understanding of love and mutual respect? Anyone who's in an interfaith relationship, anyone who's in an interracial relationship, probably will have agreed with a lot of the things that I have said. It will truly strengthen your understanding of love, because you might have had to go through a bit more difficult things than the usual relationship, than the usual couples have. So it will really show you, ultimately at the end of it all, when you are blissfully in a marriage, like me and my husband, and you know, are truly happy with where I am at in life, in my marriage, in my families, all of that, and very thankful to be. You will realize that, cliche as it sounds, am I going to be quoting Disney here? Like, I probably am, but love really does conquer all. Like, I can't even believe I said that, but honestly, fully strengthen your relationship more than you would ever believe. Like, if you've overcome obstacles, like, early in your relationship, it just shows you how strong you guys are and will be as a couple in the future as well. And the respect that you will gain from each other because you've gone through those obstacles naturally just shapes a good freaking team. And at the end of the day, being a couple together means you're a freaking team. It's all about teamwork. And that has come to the Q&A of the 10 questions of my interfaith and interracial relationship. I don't know how I did. I honestly don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm going to edit this video and be like, oh my God, I sound so weird, so awkward. Like, what is going on? But hopefully I have helped some of you guys, whoever's watching this. Please, oh my gosh, please comment more, because I think if any of you watch this and you want more questions answered, I will definitely do like a part 2, a part 3, a part 4, you know, whatever, because I know there are so many questions to talk about these topics, and I want to do more, I want to answer more. So if there's any more, like, please just drop it please just drop it. And if you've watched the end of this, please, 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 I'm gonna do the standard. Please subscribe on my YouTube, please follow my TikTok, please follow me on Insta. And I think we are done here. I think that's a cut. See you in my next YouTube video. That sounds so weird to say.